Thank you very much, President Alvaro. We have taken note of your remarks and your proposals, and those we will make sure will be reflected in the final decision of this meeting. We had invited the President of the Kurdistan Regional Government, Mr. Barzani, to be one of our keynote speakers. The situation on the ground continues, everybody knows, in northern Iraq, to be of concern. And Mr. Barzani is not exactly in his office these days. He's out in the field together with his people, attending the many urgent needs of them, displaced persons, and also, we have to say, defending his own territory. The President sent us a delegation, and I'm going to call then the representative of the KDP party, Mr. Barzani, who is attending on behalf of them this meeting. It's Mr. Hemin Hawramy. Hemin Hawramy, who came from the northern Iraq and Kurdistan for discussion. You're most welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Excellencies, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to discuss the security situation in the Iraqi Kurdistan region. On behalf of the Kurdistan Democratic Party, I am honored to come before you. His Excellency President Masoud Barzani sends his best regards and greetings to SI members and all the participants. Unfortunately, President Barzani himself could not attend this meeting and could not leave the region and take part in this event due to the current situation that we are facing. His Excellency President Masoud Barzani is the only leader who is personally at the forefront in the war against ISIS. For those of you that are not aware of KDP, I would like to briefly present to you our party and our objectives. Kurdistan Democratic Party in Iraq was established in 1946 as a national freedom movement, and since then it has acted as a key player in the region to liberate the people and guide the Kurdish nation toward democracy and self-rule. Today, under the banners of coexistence, justice and renewal, KDP is pleased, in cooperation with the other political parties, to lead the Iraqi Kurdistan region. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kurdistan region has flourished since the 90s, developing its economy, building its and strengthening its relations with the neighboring countries, as well as the international community, and most importantly, developing the region to meet international standards. Ladies and gentlemen, I can stand here and discuss the developments of Kurdistan region, but today we meet for a different purpose, to discuss a crucial topic, one which requires great attention: ISIS and its threat to the Kurdistan region and the broader international community. We meet at a time of great concern for the security of our people, the Middle East and the broader international community. Furthermore, we meet at a time of great challenge and consequences to international peace and security. The horrific images of innocent victims, Kurds, Yazidi Kurds, Muslims, Christians, locals and foreigners massacred and ruthlessly beheaded in Iraq and Syria shocked the international community. Over a short period of time and uncalculated steps, a terrorist group emerged known as ISIS, shocking the world with their cruel acts. What we have today is a large enemy, armed with very advanced weapons and growing very rapidly. ISIS is a regional and international threat, which needs international response. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kurdistan region can be counted on to play our part, to stand against the ideologies of these extremist groups. As I said before, the threat of this group is not only in the Kurdistan region, Iraq or Syria, but also this is a threat to every freedom-loving nation. As we speak, the Kurdish military forces, known as Peshmerga, we as the Kurds, known as Peshmergas, are the only force combating ISIS on the ground in Iraq, and they are on the offensive against ISIS. We as the Kurds, from Kobani in Syria to Diyala province in Iraq, have a front line of battlefield with ISIS that consists of around 1,500 kilometers. The Peshmergas are fighting in this great battle on behalf of the free world, and sadly to say, they are limited in heavy weapons to outgun ISIS. ISIS has at its disposal very advanced weapons, which they seized from both the Iraqi army and the Syrian army. They defeated these two armies. They defeated the Iraqi army and the Syrian army and took their weapons. But Peshmergas managed to stop them and roll them back. We are now on the offensive side of the battle, protecting not only the Kurds, but we are protecting all components of our society, including Christians, Arabs, Turkmen, and other components of the Iraqi society. We have lost more than 200 Peshmergas in just protecting the Christian areas in Iraq. Today, we in the Kurdistan region are not only fighting for our existence, as we have done throughout the 20th century, but on behalf of the free world, we are fighting this barbaric terrorist organization. Allow me the opportunity to further enlighten you about the crucial developments that took place this past summer. The rise of ISIS is due to the failed attempts of enforcing a unified Iraq upon the region, a failure in Maliki's governance, lack of trust and cooperation between the different groups in Iraq, disenfranchisement of the Sunnis, ignoring the constitution, and the overall failing governance in Baghdad. The Kurdistan region, or Iraq itself, would not be in the current situation had the government in Baghdad listened to the warnings given to them. Instead, we are now in a battle and in a crisis. Before the fall of Mosul to ISIS, we alerted the Iraqi government in December 2013 about the imminent threat from ISIS. And we offered our support to send in Peshmerga to defend the areas. But unfortunately, our warnings fell on deaf ears. In the ensuing hours following the total attack by ISIS, 5 Iraqi military divisions and 1 federal police division just completely melted away, and tens of thousands of troops abandoned their posts and heavy weapons to ISIS. In a matter of hours, ISIS evolved from a ruthless terrorist organization to an unprecedented terrorist state. In a matter of days, hundreds of thousands of families fled to Iraqi Kurdistan region, creating a humanitarian crisis and a burden because of limited resources. We are providing refugee to more than 1.5 million refugees and IDPs, which is 20% of our population. Dear delegates, just imagine in your country if you have the increase of population in just a few months. With these capabilities, unfortunately, ISIS attacked Sinjar town on August 3rd and sadly managed to take the town and commit terrifying atrocities while we called on our friends and allies for military assistance. We are grateful to the United States and members of the international coalition, for the European countries, for those who are heading our desperate calls to provide critical air support. But ladies and gentlemen, more must be done. The cost of an ongoing war, coupled with the 1.5 million refugees and IDPs, including Christians, Kurds, and Arabs, is having dire consequences on our ability to care for those people. Our hospitality is provided without any significant or in-kind support from the Iraqi federal government. More importantly, though, the Iraqi federal government continues to pressure the Western countries that are sending us humanitarian aid, ammunition, and light to medium arms to go through Baghdad for inspections, and therefore delaying the shipments. These delays are costing lives in the front lines and endangering those in need of food, water, and shelter. Since the attack, we have reorganized and taken back much of our territory from ISIS, but the war against terrorism will never be over. We will stay on the offensive against them until the battle is won. But ladies and gentlemen, ISIS is a regional and international threat, and it needs an international response. It's not just the military capabilities that ISIS has that should be concerned the world and this esteemed body. It is the unparalleled financial revenues funding terrorism in the Middle East and elsewhere in the world. To put this in broad terms, ISIS generates anything between $3 to $6 million per day by selling oil on the black market, Iraqi and Syrian airfrags and wheat. It receives money from donations, ransoms, and taxes. It controls an area larger than Jordan. It poses advanced weapons and is fighting on several fronts. And thousands of foreign fighters from across the world, including many from European countries, are flocking to the Middle East to join ISIS. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep in mind that this is a shared enemy and a shared responsibility. Threats by this group requires an international response. This is a serious threat, and we need serious players to counterattack this group and diminish their foundation as well as destroy this group. They cannot be reasoned with nor negotiated with. They do not understand or recognize peace or coexistence, democracy, or other values as we all share. It is our belief that global support will play a key role in destroying this group and keeping our people as well as the international community safe. In spite of being the only players to advance on the ground against ISIS, the Peshmerga are still not being provided with the needed heavy arms from Baghdad or from allies in the international coalition against ISIS. As of 3 days ago, we have 725 Peshmergas martyred in the war against ISIS and more than 3,600 wounded. Furthermore, I urge every one of you to engage in discussion with your government officials in providing military assistance to our heroic Peshmergas, and if not military assistance, then perhaps provide advanced weapons to fight this deadly group. We do not need boots on the ground from any country. This is our fight, and we can do it by ourselves. In other words, we need the international community to provide us with the equipment we need to defeat ISIS and protect our people. Our Peshmergas are fighting a war that cannot be won with AK-47s and RPGs. Clearly, they are outgunned. They do not have the right tools to protect themselves against IEDs. 72% of our Peshmerga casualties are because of IEDs. Through our past, we have been told that heavy artillery and advanced weapons cannot be given to the Kurdistan region because of Baghdad. This policy is wrong and must be revisited. Our policy is that we support whoever stands against ISIS and welcome support from anyone who stands against ISIS. International terrorism requires an international response, and the Kurdistan region is on the front line of fighting this war on terror. Our immediate duty is clear: to protect the Kurdistan region's democracy and defend its vibrant communities. But the international community must stand with us and provide meaningful support to our courageous Peshmergas and people. Our experience is founded on the principle of coexistence and respect for human rights. We are not a threat to peace in the Middle East. In fact, we are an oasis of peace and stability in a region amidst chaos and uncertainty. Once again, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Hemin, for providing us with that comprehensive vision of some of the hard facts, common facing